G'day everyone, Kev from Basketball Victoria here. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about tournament fixturing. So this is where you've set up registrations for teams and they've started coming in and registrations have now closed. So I'll talk you through grading, pools if necessary, generating fixtures, finals, and allocating those games. And at the end of this process, your fixtures are live and you're ready to start your tournament. So in your tournament database under competition management and in your competition season, um, teams have now registered, registrations are closed. So what we need to do is have a look at where those teams have registered to and see if we need to make any changes. So what I see here is no teams have registered to 12 boys A. We've got 4 in 12 boys B, 7 in 12 girls A, and 1 in 12 girls B. Now, personally, I really like the following numbers for teams in a grade. I love 4, I love 5, 6 is okay, 8's great, and 10's great. They're my favorite numbers because you're able to have 3 or 4 matches in the round robin phase and then move in the finals with those numbers. Um, so what we need to do here is we need to remove this grade here. So we need to ignore that or delete it. This grade's ready to go. I've got one team here that have entered in B grade. I need to push them up in the A grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand that grade. I'm going to unallocate the Wildcats and then I'm going to allocate them to 12 girls A. Another thing I like to do at this stage is to check to make sure that all of the teams are actually in the correct age group. So if you did set up age groups at the season level, if you go into each team, you can check to see what age group their players fall into. So for example, I'm going to check out the Lynx team here, and I notice they're registered into under 12 girls, and I could check that their age group is under 12. So all of the players are in the correct age group. So what you might find sometimes is if a team's registered to under 12s and one or two of the players are in under 14s, the team's in the wrong age group. You need to move that team into the correct age group before you start fixturing. So the sooner you find these things out, the better. So once you've checked all the teams are in the correct age groups, you've moved teams to form the right number of or balanced grades with the right number of teams. You need to set up pools if required. So in this case, grade doesn't need pools because it only has 4 teams. But in this grade here, I've got 8 teams, so I want to split it into pools. So if you're not familiar with pools, what it does is it splits off all the teams into different pools. Normally you'd have 2, but you can have more. Ideally, you have 2, 4, or 8. Um, what happens is everyone plays each other within their pool for a set number of games, and then they come back together to play finals, which is what is also known as crossover. So I'm going to set up this grade to have pools. So I go into settings and turn pools on and save that. And back up to grades, I now can allocate teams to pools. So I've got 8 teams in this pool. I want to put 4 teams in one pool and 4 teams in another pool. Now you might want to do this on a seeding basis. So if you've got certain rankings for all of your teams, you might want to spread the talent, if you like, the talented teams amongst the various pools you have, and then we update changes. So now we're in a position to generate our fixtures. So I'm going to start with 12 boys B. This one's relatively straightforward because there's no pools. Now, it's generally a good idea for everyone to play each other once within the round robin phase. If you can make it happen, it makes it nice and fair. And a formula I like to use, a simple rule of thumb, is that if you've got an odd number of teams in a grade, it's for everyone to play each other once, it's the same number of rounds as teams. If you've got an even number of teams in a grade, you need a -1 from the number of teams, and that's the number of rounds so that everyone plays each other once. So in this case, I've got 4 teams, so I need to play 3 rounds. I want to set up finals at this stage. You don't have to, but you can. you've got two options. You can either use the standard finals formats, or you can um, set up your custom finals to have a different format of your choice. So I'm just going to go with four teams in finals. I'm going to do knockout. So 2 rounds, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, and go next. And I need to specify the date that I want each round to be on. So I want all of my round robin games on the first day, and I want all of my finals on the second day. Review fixture, looks all right to me, generate fixture. And what that does is it does the match combinations for the teams in that grade. So who plays who, but it doesn't do their allocations. Going back to grades, I'm going to do the same for 12 girls A that has pools. So this one's going to, again, I want everyone to play each other once within their pool. And in this case, I want only 4 teams um, in finals. So I want 4 teams, the top 2 from each pool come across to play finals. So I'm going to do that there. So what's going to happen with this format is um, first on the ladder in pool A, or A1 if you like, we'll play B2. B1 will play A2. And I've got to select the dates I want each round to be on. And if you find that you've got some rounds that need to span 2 dates, pick the date that most of the games will be played on, and then you can edit each game, change it to another date, and do your allocations accordingly. So we're going to review that. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to generate the fixture. And when I go into that grade, I can see that the match allocations have been set up. And I just need to allocate games to courts and times. So to do that, if you go back up to the season level, I go into allocations, and I want to do game allocations here. So you go view. You've got all your games that you need to allocate for that day at the bottom, and you've got the venues that you selected at season setup stage. And now what I need to do is drag games into time slots. Now, I like to filter by round, especially. You might want to also filter by grade, but I want to filter by round to ensure that I've got all my round 1 games here, all my round 2 games there, all my round 3 games there, so on and so forth. Now, you do need to pay special attention if you do have a different number of rounds between grades as well, to make sure that you line them up how you want. So I'm going to pop these games in here. So I'm going to start at 9 o'clock for that one. Now you might find that you need to do this in an Excel spreadsheet, especially if you've got requests, and then transpose that into here. So what I want is all my round 1 games there. Actually, what we'll do is let's say that we've only got 3 courts, not access to all 6. So everyone gets to play 1 game and then have a break. And now I want my round 2 games. So 12 boys B and 12 girls A there. So some teams might not get a break if you're in 12 girls A. Oop, okay, and that leaves my round 3 games. So you can pop them in there. Obviously, I'm not paying that much attention to teams, but you will pay attention to teams to make sure that they get the necessary breaks that they need. And that's all the games allocated for the Saturday. And then once these are in, I'm going to do the same for the Sunday finals day. So we'll give this a second to update and synchronize and save. And once it's all green, we're good to go. All right, now we're going to do the same for Sunday. Now on Sunday, we've only got these games, so I want to start with the semi-final games. So let's have 12 boys here, and let's have 12 girls there. So they're the semi-finals allocated, and then we've got the grand finals left, so we'll have the boys game there. Whoop. And we'll have the girls game there. So once you've done your allocations, all that's left to do, assuming that you all your grades are visible, is to just make the season visible. So you do that in season settings. Towards the bottom there, you go visible. And once you save that, your fixtures are now live. So the only thing I need to call out as your tournament is progressing along is the need to assign teams to finals. So once the round robin phase has finished for a particular grade, you need to go into that grade and go into the ladder. And the button's grayed out now because all the results are not in. But once all of your results are in, you need to hit assign finals teams. And what that will do is that would populate the finals matchups with positions on the ladder. If you do have custom finals matches, you need to explicitly select which teams are involved in each one of those finals matches. So that's what you need to do to set up your fixturing for a tournament. As always, if you require any assistance with PlayHQ, please visit support.playhq.com, scroll down a bit, hit the contact us button, and follow the prompts for basketball in Victoria.